All of you beautiful people around the world, my name is Ryan, aka Blackbeard TCG, and I am so excited today, guys. I'm so excited. I could not wait to make this video to share with you guys. First and foremost, you guys are such an awesome community. Thank you so much for all the comments that you guys leave. You guys know I read every single one of them. If you guys aren't a part of the community already, it is very, very simple. Just go ahead and click that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment when I ask you to when you watch a video. It's as simple as that. But guys, I'm so excited to hear your thoughts on this. I wanted to get my thoughts out there and share them with y'all. Nami is not a meme. I think Nami is going to be a threat. I think Nami is going to be an absolute beast in OPO3. I wanted to talk about that. We had a ton of card reveals today. I'm not going to be going over all of them, especially because the card list should be coming out within the next day or two. So once we have the full card list, we'll be able to make a deep dive on all the leaders and kind of break down those things. But in this video, I want to talk about blue. But then I also want to talk about why I'm excited for black. So as you guys know, if you guys have been keeping up with the channel, if you guys have been keeping up with my tweets, down below in the description, you guys can check out my Twitter. You guys will see that I've been super excited about black as well as blue. Just overall, I've been playing a ton of black. And shout outs to Ibo. Ibo is also a Nami enjoyer, Nam Mill enthusiast. We both think that Nami's gonna be really good. Ibo's one of those people that are he's very skilled at card games in general. He has amazing content. Definitely check out his channel. I know he had uploaded a video talking about the Treasure Cup meta. So definitely check that out if you have your Treasure Cup coming up this weekend or in the coming weeks. But with that being said, I know that he's one of the first content creators, in addition to myself, that were talking about Nami, thinking that she's going to be really good. And now, even more so after seeing these cards, she's going to be amazing. So first off, shout outs to Nikaido as well. Nikaido is such an awesome person, speaks Japanese and English, which is amazing. He was able to confirm some of my thoughts when I seen these cards. I just want to Google image translate, and Nikaido was able to confirm some of the effects. But Nikaido said it here perfectly. They added Pot of Greed to One Piece. This card right here is literally draw 2 cards. That's it. Draw 2 cards. This is so good, so strong. Obviously, it costs 3 Dawn, so opportunity costs, all of those things. But being able to just draw 2 cards when you're playing Nami is 2 less cards in your deck. Nami's strategy is actually so viable now. It's insane with all of the tools. This card alone is already so good. I love how it's generic as well. It's not tied to anything, so we could play it in blue decks. I could see this definitely seeing some play in a Vankov as well. So overall, this card is just, I love it. I love it so much. I think that this is definitely going to be key to Nami's game plan. Now, before we get into some of the other cards, I want to talk about, again, what Nami has already that we've seen. We all know Zeph is going to be amazing. Let that man cook. I haven't talked about this, but there is the Usopp that got revealed. He has Rush, and if he is able to get a successful hit off, you could trash 7 cards from the top of your deck. So it's going to be interesting. Your opponent's going to have to use resources to defend against this because they do not want this to trigger and proc, because then, oh my god, you're accelerating your game state so fast. Kaya, who is absolutely insane. Draw 2, trash 2 cards from your hand. You don't care about trashing 2, you care about drawing 2. Is a 2k counter at worst. But then, Nojiko is an absolute beast of a card. If your leader is Nami, return 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less to the owner's hand. This card is so damn good. We always talk about how the cost 5 is so important in this game. There's so many powerful cards, even more so in set 3, where we're having a ton of very powerful 5 costs in black, in purple, and everything. Nojiko is going to be so damn good. Obviously, like, everything that we've seen so far is great, right? Cool. So we've established that. We also have to talk about Albuquerque Fist. I know it's not called that, but if you guys have been watching my live streams and stuff like that, you know this is what we call it. We call it Albuquerque Fist. This card is amazing. Return 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. 4 or less is still really good. You could use it against Markles and things like that. This is a very good card. I use this very regularly. Very strong card. I think it will definitely see play in Nami, because you can then bounce things like your Kaya back to your hand and play it again. So that way you could basically draw 4 cards. This card is going to be good for offense, defense, using it for your strategy, your win con. This card's great. Thrust Pad Cannon, I think, will also see play as well. well. Again, being able to return a character with a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. You know, you could easily just bounce back your Kaya and play it again for your next turn. Sure, you're not getting any defensive value off it in that sense, but you're going to be able to play it again, right? So I definitely think that Thrush Pack Cannon will start seeing play again. So there's a ton of tools that we already have that are going to be really nice. Now, I need to just talk about a couple things that I think are great. So, of course, there's Patty that's been revealed, where if your deck has 20 or less cards, you can return up to 1 character with a cost of 3 or less to the hand. Again, we already talked about how we can use that with Kaya. That's awesome. Patty's going to be good. We have Yosaku and Johnny, who I think is interesting. I mean, it's one cost, and it can go up to 6,000 power 1 cost. So I think that this will be really nice to have as you go through the game. And it could probably be live relatively early, depending on, like, obviously, if you get hits and all of those type of things. We already talked about Pot of Greed, but the card that I find really, really, really broken is this one right here. Sansen Sekai. This card is so good. Place up to 1 character with a cost of 5 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. And if you hit it in trigger, you can place a character with a cost of 3 or less to the bottom of the owner's deck. This is going to be so good to spin back those 5 cost threats to the bottom of the deck. Sending something to the bottom of the deck is essentially like removing it from the game, right? Because odds are people aren't going to deck out unless you're playing Nami. But then at that point, if you deck out, you win the game, right? So, like, this card, I can't stress enough how powerful this deck is going to be with all of the control. Even if you just play a pure control style where you're using this, you're utilizing your Albuquerque Fist, you have other cards to bounce as well. You're going to be able to just control the board and just stall the game out so you're able to eventually just get your win con. This is going to be such a good control deck. It has offensive firepower as well. We haven't even talked about Soj King yet, but I mean, Nami is looking absolutely fantastic. And again, I just want to give shout outs to WonderCloud for putting these translations in the Discord. Have to give credit where credit is due. Nami is going to be amazing, guys. I think Nami's absolutely ridiculous. So there's that. Then the last thing that I want to talk about, I want to make a video specifically talking about Black a little bit later once we get some more details, once we have the full card breakdown. But this card was confirmed by Nikaido. The translation is correct. It's a 2 cost. Its trigger is draw 2 cards. Again, you guys have been hearing me complain and talk about, oh my gosh, like Black needs more draw. If you hit this in trigger, draw 2 cards. Very nice. But this card is also nice to have in your hand because you can KO a 0 cost character, which is fine because you're playing Black. You're going to be able to drop the cost of characters and things like that. And so now it really, like, I don't know. I feel like Sakazuki's effect is already power crept, right? Because Sakazuki can KO something that is a cost 0, but you have to rest 3 Dawn. And this is just 2 Dawn. So that character ability is already power crept, which kind of sucks. That leader ability, rather. But I mean, I guess we'll have to see how it develops. But the most important thing is that it can slice stage cards apart. Goodbye, Moby Dick. Goodbye, Galila Company. Goodbye, Onigashima. Hey! Now, of course, your opponent now has incentive to play those other copies. They're not just going to be discard fodder. There was no way to punish it. And now Black has a tool to punish stages. And I feel like other colors might eventually get tools to punish stages as well. Moby Dick was extremely oppressive. I think that we're going to see a lot of Whitebeard in OPO2 because of it. But now we see a tool in Black that's also generic. So I can play this in my Zephyr deck as well. And I don't know. I don't know if this is a 4 of or what, but I mean, at worst case scenario, you could just use it as spot removal for cards as you lower their cost. Or if you're facing Galila Company or you're facing any of those decks that uses a lot of stages, go ahead and blow them up, right? Ace as well has a stage now that looks really good. I am so excited for OPO3. The metagame is going to shift. I think that this set is now the game begins, right? OPO1, I'm sorry, it's boring, right? I haven't played that much OPO1 in a while. I've been playing a ton of OPO2. OPO2 becomes really fun, opens up a lot of decks that are all very competitive. A ton, including leaders from OPO1. I think OPO3, the game has begun. We have so many cards. We have no ban list still, right? No ban list, no limited list. We are going to see some nuts combinations And I absolutely can't wait for this release to hit the Asian countries. And I really want to study and watch as much content on them. I'm going to be doing reviews for content for any of the content creators out there in the Asia regions that post it. I'm just so excited to dissect it, because I feel like now we are getting into the One Piece card game. Like, this game... Blue deck equals best deck, guys. Guys, what are your thoughts on Nami now that you guys have seen some of the new cards? Do you guys think that she is going to be viable? This is a viable strategy now. This is a meta strategy. Do you think she is tier 0? Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. I'm sorry. Let me calm down. I'm getting very excited. I'm sorry, guys. She's going to be tier 1, in my opinion. I think she's going to be tier 1 now. Don't think she's going to be tier 0. But with that being said, I'm still super excited to see the black stuff. I know we have to get more Navy stuff, so stay tuned for that. And with all of that being said, my friends, I hope you all have an amazing day. Take it easy. Peace.